Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Eliza, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a little knit and chat with me video. I'm working on a Balaclava commission. It is my bubblegum balaclava. The pattern is available on my Ravelry page, and sometimes people DM me on Instagram and ask for custom balaclavas, so that's what I'm making right now. I'm making this for one of my friends who requested a two-color balaclava similar to the one that I post on my Instagram frequently. It's like green with pink at the top. So he wanted green, which is this is the color green that I got. This is Lettuce by Malabrigo, and then he wanted lavender at the top, but I couldn't find lavender in the Rasta yarn. So I sent him like a bunch of pictures of different yarns that they had, different colors. And he eventually picked this one. So this will be the top, this will be the base, and then this will just be the top. This is our color combination, and I already forgot what this color is called. Sorry. But I got both of these from Jimmy Bean's Wool, the website. They have a lot of colors. So I got those there, and that's what I'm working on right now. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and I do really like Valentine's Day, mostly because I really like red and pink, and I love seeing all the little like shops, like, or the little like stories that like shops do that are very curated, and they're like all the red and pink items with hearts and glitter and like, I don't know, lingerie. So I think that's kind of my favorite thing about Valentine's Day. I just like love seeing those little stories that shops put together. I think they're so cute. I just want everything to be like pink and red with hearts. I didn't make anything for Valentine's this year. Last year I had tried to release, or last year around Valentine's Day, I had a tester call for my Shy cardigan, which had heart cables on it, and that didn't work out so well. I did talk about this a few videos ago, and I have still been thinking about that pattern and maybe simplifying it a little bit, maybe tweaking it a little. So I think once I finish some of the projects I'm working on now, I might knit another one and try to rewrite the pattern so it's a little bit easier to understand, and also maybe tweak a few things. But with that being said, I didn't do anything like that this year. I don't have any Valentine related things that I'm working on right now. I was thinking of knitting something for my boyfriend for Valentine's Day, but I bought him something and then I was like, I don't know, I didn't want to give him too much stuff. So I did not make him anything. Actually, that's a lie. I did make this. I made him this. It's a tiny knit rose, which I will be attaching to his card, probably. It's kind of top heavy, but it's pretty cute. I knit it in like 20 minutes, and I'll put the pattern in the description below. It was just a free pattern on Ravelry, and the designer has a lot of really cute, like, little tiny knitting patterns for little tiny things. I did actually, while I was looking, I found a bunch of cute patterns by that designer, but you have to buy a book that they wrote to get the patterns. So that was a little misleading because they are on Ravelry, but you can't actually buy them on Ravelry. But that rose one is available for free on Ravelry. That's what I made my boyfriend for Valentine's Day. A teeny tiny rose, which I already almost lost. I was like looking for it and I found it on the floor. So it is quite small. It may not be around forever. Other things. Oh yeah, I have a lot of whips right now. I'm not going to discuss all of them. I am still working on my 52 weeks of socks videos. I know I haven't released one in like 2 months, but I have 3 different pairs on my needles right now, so I'm kind of just like knitting my way through them, and there'll be some videos eventually. I picked one pattern, the morning coffee sock pattern, and I'm not loving it. And I think by not loving it, it's making it hard to pick it up. but I really don't want to like, I don't want to give up on it because eventually I'll have to do it. So I'm like, you should just try to finish it so you can get it over with. And it's like nothing against the pattern. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not into it. I'll talk about it more in the full video, which will hopefully be up by the end of the month. Actually, I have a goal for when I want to finish that video, so I think I have a reminder set on my phone for maybe like the 18th or the 20th of February. But I found a Scrappy Socks knit along on Instagram, and I really want to participate in that. So my goal is to finish the morning coffee socks from 52 Weeks of Socks before that, so then I can just like do the Scrappy Sock knit along and not have to think about my other socks that I'm neglecting. And the Scrappy Socks knit along, I think the only requirements are that you use scrap yarn, but you can use like whatever pattern. So I was thinking it might be fun to pick a pattern from 52 Weeks of Socks and just knit them with scrap yarn. And I kind of want to knit one of the cable patterns. I don't have the book here with me, but there's one cable pattern that's pretty simple. I think it's just twists. And I think the socks might be kind of tall, but I thought that might be fun to knit in scrap yarn, because I feel like an easy twist wouldn't get too lost in like a crazy color combination. Anyway, I'm also working on this commission, and then I have another commission that I don't want to talk about. I just want to get it over with. And then, oh, I have another sock right here that I'm working on. This is just a little for fun chunky sock that I'm writing a pattern for these chunky DK socks. These are the same ones that I was knitting like back in December. I knit like I knit 3 pairs for people in my family. Oh my gosh, I'm talking too fast and like all my words are jumbling together. So this is another pair, and I'm gonna do maybe one more and then assemble the pattern and hopefully ask for testers soon for that pattern. And because I'm kind of excited about the chunky sock pattern, it's just like a fun and easy, fast pattern, and I'm really into it. I do want to tweak something about this though, because the way I knit this one, the heel got like really tall. Like it looks way too tall. Like that's gonna stick out of your sock, or that's gonna stick out of your shoe, and I don't like that. So I think I need to do something here to make that shorter. Gotta tweak it a little bit. And in addition to knitting lots of things, I have also acquired a lot of yarn. So I had mentioned in, I think the knit and chat I did maybe 2 knit and chats ago, I said I was on a yarn buying ban because I had acquired way too much nice expensive yarn and I needed to stop buying expensive yarn and like knit with the beautiful yarn that I already have instead of, you know, just letting it sit there. So I am kind of still on a yarn buying ban. I have not bought any new yarn, but I did recently get sucked into eBay yarn and purchasing secondhand yarn on eBay. So I do have kind of a secondhand yarn haul to share from 3 places actually, from eBay, from Scrap, which is the reuse store in San Francisco, and then from The Legacy, which is a craft thrift store in Sebastopol, California. And that is quite far from me, but I went to Sonoma last weekend, and so I stopped there on my way because I was just like Googling thrift stores and I found that and I was like, craft thrift store, I have to go. They definitely have yarn. So I got some fun yarn. I'm really into mohair right now, so it's mostly mohair. And I also got some tools. And I really love going to stores like that, like craft thrift stores or reuse stores for tools, because they're usually very, very inexpensive. Like, sometimes the yarn is priced like in an inconsistent way where like some of it is cheap and some of it is not cheap, but I feel like for the most part the tools are always very cheap, like $1 for anything. So let me show you my little secondhand yarn haul. I'm gonna start with the yarn that I found on eBay because I didn't get any tools on eBay, so we can just get this over with, and then I'll show you my yarn and my tools that I've acquired. So I bought all of this yarn on eBay from a few different people. I also bought like emerald green yarn on eBay like 2 weeks ago, and it's just like, I think it's just like lost in the postal system because it says like it's on its way, but it hasn't shown up yet. But whatever, there's nothing I can do about it, and it's just like cheap old mohair. So I'm hoping one day it shows up, but I'm not sure if it will. Anyway, the yarn that I do have, I bought like it was like 3 random balls, and it was this super fuzzy, I think this is, what is that brand, Bernard? It's like I think it's like an old craft store brand. This is so fuzzy and so soft. I actually already knit this into something, and I have quite a bit left, as you can see. I'll show you what I made in a second. So I got this from eBay. It is 100% acrylic, which is not something I would ever buy new. I'm not really an acrylic gal, but secondhand mohair, 100% acrylic is okay because it's secondhand. Loopholes. And then in that same bag, they also sent this hot pink mohair, which I believe is also acrylic, but it didn't have a tag on it. I really liked this color. I'm really into pink right now. I feel like, actually, I'm probably always really into pink, but got that. And then from another seller, I got a little bag that had, it had these 5 yarns. These are Bucilla Melody Easy Care Machine Washable 50% mohair, 50% acrylic yarn. Not sure how old these are. They could just be like a couple years old. They could be super old. I'm not sure. But I got 5 of these. Yeah. Oh, and then I think actually maybe this one was in the same bag as the hot pink mohair. I'm not sure the brand or the content of this. It's just like a kind of peachy coral color mohair. And then from another seller, I got these 3 little mohair balls. These are Springbrooks yarns, Printemps. They're all 105 yards, so they're pretty short. They're acrylic mohair wool and polyester worsted weight yarn. I just kind of liked that orange kind of creamsicle color. And then the thing that I made with that mohair, with the fuzzy mohair and then also the hot pink mohair, was this vest. So I have been trying to make a handful of things. I think my goal is maybe like 10 items. This is one of them. And I'm going to take those 10 items and put them on a little online shop that's a little bit more professional than my big cartel, just so I have some things that are like ready-made for sale, because I often have people ask if they can commission things, and I don't mind the Balaclava commissions, but I have a love-hate relationship with commissions because I want to do them, but then I get them, and then I want to do other things. So I thought it would be fun to just see how a little online shop would go. So that's one of my items that will be in my online shop when I have a certain amount of items, hopefully in the next 2 months. That's my goal. So yeah, let me know, would you buy this if it was in a little online shop? It's pretty cute. I kind of want to keep it, but that's like one of my problems with selling things or with making things. I don't want to sell them. So I'm like making these things with the intention of selling them. So it's not like I'm not getting as attached to them. I'm like, these aren't for me. I'm making them for someone else, so it'll be easier to sell them. The next store I went to was eBay wasn't a store that I went to, but the next grouping of things is from the Legacy, the craft store in Sebastopol. So their prices were kind of all over the place. They had some things that were really expensive. They were like almost full price, even though it was like a thrift store. And so that always throws me off, because I'm like, wait, didn't someone donate these and you want full price for them? Like, that doesn't seem right. So I bought some pretty cheap stuff because I was feeling very cheap when I was in that store. One non-knitting thing, I found this cute little tin. It's actually a See's Candy tin, and it was 25 cents. And it's so cute. They had a little Valentine's display, and I just like grabbed this on my way out. I'll probably put like stitch markers in it. I also got some stitch holders from the Legacy, and I already took these out of the bags, but I think these two small ones were 75 cents each, and then I think this big one was like $1.50 maybe. So I got these because I find these really handy, and I never want to pay full price for them because I could just use like safety pins. So when I find them for $1, I usually get them because they are pretty handy. And then I also found these buttons at the Legacy thrift store. So they had these 4, and then I got this little card that just had 2. So this was $1.50, and then this one was 80 cents. But because I felt like I needed at least 6 if I was gonna make like a cardigan or something. But they're just these cute little teddy bears. And they kind of have like a very stern expression, which I just thought was kind of quirky. Teddy bears are more popular than ever, it says. Every child loves a teddy bear, and every child should have one. Okay. The yarn that I got from the Legacy when I was feeling cheap, I was like, if it's under $1, I want it. If it's under $5, okay, fine. I had some other things that I liked that were like over $5. It's crazy the way my mind shifts when I'm in like an indie like local yarn store versus a thrift store. Like if I'm in a thrift store, I'm like, $2, that's way too much money. But if I'm in like a local yarn shop, I'm like, 30 bucks, that's a great deal for hand-dyed yarn. Anyway, what I got, I found 2 of these. I just thought the color was kind of cute. It might be like a baby yarn, I don't know, but I liked the little like flecks of color. This is Polar Fleur de Laine yarn, which I'm pretty sure Laine is French for wool. It's guaranteed 100% pure virgin wool. These were 60 cents each, total bargain. The color is blue 51. I thought they were cute. Cute color. It says for sweaters, caps, booties, socks, S-A-C-Q-U-E-S, mittens, etc. What should I make with these? Since I'm on a little mohair kick, I was digging around the boxes looking for mohair. I found this yellow for 50 cents. Probably acrylic, not sure. Pretty color. I found this. This is like another very fuzzy, it might almost be like a boucle yarn under all that fluff because it does look a little bit more textured, but I'm not really sure. $1.75. And then I found 2 of these. Oh, okay, this was the brand I was trying to think of earlier, Bernat, I think it's a craft store brand. These are boucle, I think. It doesn't really say, but they're like textured yarns in like purple, mustardy, beigey, white flecks, interesting texture. I don't know, when I go to the craft store and look for yarn, it's like the more interesting the better. And these were both $3.50. That was the most I paid for 1 ball of yarn at that store, $3.50. And then the last one I got was this one. It's the brand, it just says mohair. Oh, it's Fentex mohair, also $3.50. This is 85% acrylic, 15% mohair. The color is 96 burgundy. So I did like that I kind of had a little color scheme going in this store. Even the yellow looks good with these. I might save the yellow for something else. But yeah, we got a little color scheme going here. I always find like lots of warm colors. I feel like I need to search a little harder and try to find like more neutrals like browns and tans, and also more cool colors. Or maybe it's just lately that I'm like really attracted to the warm colors because I do have a lot of blue yarn. I don't know. The last place I got yarn from was Scrap. This weekend they were having a jewelry and yarn barn, so it was like they cleared out like a room kind of in the back where they, what I'm assuming they did was they like gathered all the best things that they had received recently as far as jewelry and yarn, and they like saved them, and then they had the special event because they had some pretty nice stuff there. And Scrap usually has a lot of just like craft store stuff that's been donated, so I was really excited to go to the jewelry and yarn barn and see what they had. I wanted to go the first day, but that was when I was like going out of town, so I went the third day which is probably for the best because, like I've said many times, I don't need any more yarn, so I just got a few things. I found more brown mohair, sticking with my color scheme of warm tones, but I was excited to find brown because I don't usually buy brown yarn. This was $3. It's probably acrylic, I'm not sure. It has no label. I also found this, and I was excited to find this because it's kind of like beige brown purple tones, so going, you know, still in that warm colors, but I thought the like beige and the purple were really pretty and might look nice with like brown or even some of those purples I just showed. And this one was $3. I found this. This is a ball of mystery yarn. It is fuzzy, and that is all that I know. It also didn't have a price tag on it. I think I probably paid $3 for this one too, but I don't recall because he just like set a price and I was like, okay. I got this one. This one was in like the nicer bin. These ones were like in the craft bins. This one was in like the nicer bin, but it doesn't have a label, so I have no idea what kind of yarn this is. This was $5, and I got this because I have a yarn that's similar to this at my studio. I have like one ball of yarn that's a similar weight. It's like worsted weight, and it's a purple with flecks like this. It's not the same. It's definitely like a different shade, but I thought maybe I could do something interesting with them together, so that's why I got this. I got this little bag. It was like a plastic bag that a pillowcase would come in, you know, with like a zipper around it, and it had these four balls of mohair in it for $8 for the 4 of these, and they're all different amounts of yarn, and they're probably all acrylic. I was really drawn to this blue, and then I wanted these greens because I have another sweater that I started for my little online shop that has a lot of green in it, and I thought these could be good for that. The last thing I got from the jewelry and yarn barn as far as yarn is this. This is the Blue Sky Fibers Mini Hank bundle, and I think I saw this in a yarn store recently when I was in Monterey. Actually, I think they had it at Monarch Knitting, and I'm pretty sure like if you buy this new, I'm pretty sure it comes with like 20 of these. This one has 6 and this whole thing was $5, so I felt like that was a pretty good deal because I think like mini hanks, although these don't have very much yardage, mini hanks are usually like $5 to $8 alone. These ones really don't have that much yardage at all. They're 12 yards each, and they're worsted weight, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with these yet, but I really like this blue color and this green color, and so I thought that I'd be able to figure out something to do with them pretty quickly. But I was kind of excited when I saw these because I feel like these are like something you could buy in store now. Like these are fairly new. And then as I was leaving Scrap, they have a free yarn drawer, and I found this tiny bit of white, probably acrylic mohair in the free bin. Oh, since it was the jewelry and yarn barn, I did look at the jewelry, charms, beads, all that good stuff while I was there, because with my little online shop with knitted things, I also wanted to make some cute stitch markers, and they had these charms that are scissors. They're just little, like, I don't know, gold colored charms. I'm not sure of the metal, but I thought they could make really cute stitch markers, so I want to get like a little bead to attach to them too, maybe like a cute color. So I got these, and then they also had like a little thing of rings, which I thought could be helpful for the stitch marker project. Oh, I got some stitch markers. They had a whole bunch. I was tempted to get this little container that had like 100 locking stitch markers, but I was like, no, you don't need you don't need 100 more, you definitely have enough. And then I also got this crochet hook, which was, I have no idea like anything about crochet hooks, but I often want one for seaming my sweaters, so I just got this and it was like $1. That is it as far as the yarn I've acquired recently. Most of that yarn I'm gonna try to use for my little online shop, try to make some cute quirky things, probably a lot of like vests and chunky sweaters. Let me know your thoughts on the online shop. What do you want to see in the shop? I would love to put socks in the shop, but they take a really long time, and I am saving my money to buy a circular sock knitting machine, but most of them, I'm like trying to avoid this light in my face, but most of them have a really long lead time of like 12 to 14 weeks. So even if I order one of those, it's gonna be a while. Probably won't have socks in the shop, but let me know what else you'd like to see. Hats, vests, sweaters, stuff like that. The last things I want to talk about are books, because I used to be really into reading, and then I got really into sock knitting, and I know those things are not related, but I used to read books like on the train and on public transportation, whatever, you know, like on before bed, I don't know. And once I got into sock knitting, I just started doing sock knitting in all of those places because it was small and I could just like put it in my bag or put it on my bedside table and just like knit until I fall asleep. So I kind of stopped reading books. And then the other day, my boyfriend brought over this mushroom book that I was reading, and it like reminded me how much I like reading. So I wanted to go to a bookstore and find a book, and I did just that. I found this book. It is called Mary, An Awakening of Terror, because your girl loves a horror book, and I've only read the first chapter, but so far it's pretty good. I read the first chapter last night and I was like falling asleep because I was tired, not because the book was boring, and I really wanted to keep reading. I was like, no, you gotta wait, just wait until tomorrow so you can really absorb what you're reading and you don't just fall asleep. It's pretty good so far. It's also a very large size. See how big it is? It's big and floppy, which I kind of love. I just watched one of my booktubers that I like to watch, Jordaline Reads. They do a lot of horror stuff. They had a video that was like the scariest books they read last year, and this was one of them. And I love a scary book, so that sold me. I actually went to the bookstore looking for the book Woman Eating, which is about a vampire, I believe, because I had read the first couple pages of that when I was in New York City last year in the Strand, and I was tempted to buy it, but I didn't, and then I forgot about books and got absorbed in knitting, and so I had actually gone to buy that book, and then I saw this book in the Unhinged Woman little end cap they had set up in the store, and I was like, oh, I love an unhinged woman, and so I got this. Let me know what you're reading in the comments, since I'm back into reading now. Also, I also acquired this book recently, and this is funny because I had really wanted this book, and so I put it in like the Amazon cart, and I share an Amazon account with my mother, and I guess maybe like it didn't get out of the cart before she ordered something, and so she bought it for me unknowingly. It is such a cool book. Let's just flip through it real quick. Look at these. These are so cool. I remember seeing these on Instagram and thinking like, oh my gosh, I want to make one. So cool. Beautiful. Just like so inspiring. I don't know that I'm even going to knit any of these patterns. Maybe the scrunchie, because my scrunchie didn't work out so well last week. But it's just like such a cool, inspiring book to look at. Like, there's so much cool stuff in here. I just want to like flip through the book. There is actually one pattern that I think I want to make. It's the turtleneck sweater. It's the No Limits sweater. Ugh. And specifically this one with the turtleneck. Can you see? I think it's so cool. I want to knit one of those. So maybe I'll knit that if I knit anything from this book. But yeah, super cool book. That is it. That's like everything that I'm working on, kind of purchased recently, that I'm interested in right now. Let me know if you made anything for anyone for Valentine's Day. Also, happy Valentine's Day. and let me know what you're working on now, what you're reading now, what I should put in my online shop. Well, thanks so much for knitting and chatting with me, and I will see you again very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay.